Hi, my name's Lott, and I am going to be doing this podcast. I know there's countless podcasts out there in the world, but I thought I'd give my hand at it, and I don't have a title for this yet, so if you hear this and you have one, email me at dlott@flsouthern.edu. That's dlott@flsouthern.edu. I'm going to do this podcast on philosophical quandaries I have. I may do goofy things, I may do fun things, I may do songs, I don't know. But this is kind of an introductory one, so we'll see what happens. Tonight I want to kind of discuss, I say tonight because I'm filming this, well rather recording this at 11:30. Tonight I want to kind of discuss humanity's value. I mean, humanity is in the culmination of the human experience, this kind of just existence that we have, this kind of world body. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'll do that a lot, just for the record. I'll try and catch myself. If not, you can probably just fast forward, or you don't have to listen to it at all. That's the beauty of free will. Calvinists, sorry if that's dumb. Anyway, my question is, what is the value of human beings? I say this because I feel so many people are wrapped up in themselves in this unbelievable manner. I'm talking about people are so self-obsessed, and I'm not just talking about, the Glenn Becks of the world or the Stephen Colberts. I love Stephen Colbert, but let's face it, he's a little egocentric. I'm talking about the everyday people we encounter who just feel so special, that just think they're entitled to so many ridiculous things. It's so frustrating to me because I kind of view life as, and this may come as a shock to some people, meaningless. I view life as this almost not worthless, because worthless means it has no value, but this meaningless thing. Because if you look at it from a realistic perspective, you have to understand that as wonderful and grand as life is, we don't really do anything. And I know some of you are thinking I work very hard at whatever it is you do, or some of you think that's not true at all. I mean, I do this, I affect this person and this many people, but I mean, look at it from an eternal standpoint. Look at it from a temporal sense. Hitler, a very bad man, irrefutably one of the most evil people to ever exist. Evil people on record, shall we say. He is responsible for the death of several million people. Yet, most of the survivors of this horrible tragedy have passed away. And we all learn about World War II, we all learn about the Holocaust. Some people say it didn't exist, and I feel those people are fools. Those people are afraid to open their eyes to something quite painful and quite true. They're afraid to accept the fact that Hitler was human, and that we could all become that. We could all orchestrate something that evil and that sinister if we were ourselves to, apply our energies in that manner. Anyway, World War II and the Holocaust itself and the tragedy that is, even though we erect these monuments or we have these memorial days, it seems so distant. It seems so removed. Soon, in a generation or two, it's just going to be words on a page. It's just going to be textbook material, like the Pilgrims landing in America, or even the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, the Crusades. These are all wonderful, some of them horrible, events that happen in history that we kind of look back on and we just kind of think, oh man, the Crusades, well, that was a bad time. A lot of people died, woo. And we don't really actually, consider the weight of all the life that was lost and all the tragedy that came from that. The same with the Middle Ages. We just talk about, the Reformation and the persecution of those who didn't deserve to be persecuted, and we kind of look back on it all like it just doesn't matter. And then there's the great good things that happen. There's the Mother Teresas, and there's the Gandhis. But as they die and pass on, Gandhi now he's a great figure in Indian history, and his face is on some of their currency, but Gandhi now is just kind of the subject of a pop culture reference and an occasional movie. Very good movies typically, but still. It's so interesting. These people come and they impact the world either positively or negatively. And we have about roughly 80 years. I know that's the lifespan for the average American. We have about 80 years to impact this place, this world. And then what happens? We die. Everybody dies. Death is the great equalizer, someone once said. And once we die, we either ascend into this afterlife or we don't. Those are the options. There's either eternity or there isn't. I'm not going to get into the discussions of heaven and hell and the potential afterlives. The Mormons have something interesting going on there. But we don't have anything. All we have is our memories. It's talked about in the Bible in Ecclesiastes, but I don't want to get too biblical on this. I feel that's overdone. But it's talked about in several, what I believe are good sources of literature, that once we die, we're dead. If we're lucky, we're passed on by word of mouth, maybe from one generation to the next. Maybe our grandchildren will talk about us because our children talk about us. But what do we have after that? Maybe some worn photographs, but even they fade. Eventually, it's almost as if you never existed. As if you were just a launching point for the generation that does exist. So in actuality, we all mean nothing. And this meaninglessness isn't something that we should look at and just say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. No. It's something beautiful. Because in our meaning nothing, life means everything. Once we understand that we have no value, we can go and make something have value. We can invest ourselves in something of worth. We can attempt to make our life have value. Anyway, my name's Danny Lott. If anybody gets this podcast, anybody listens to it or whatever, let me know what you think. My email is dlott@flsouthern.edu. Hopefully I'll have something at you in another couple days. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I got to see how the response is on this. Anyway, peace be with you.